My name is Erin Mendoza-Laud, and I'm an instructional designer at Eastern University. I'm here to kick off our presentation about intelligent agents today by first explaining to you what intelligent agents are. Intelligent agents are checkpoints that run in the background of a course. They look for specific activity within a course and then take an action once that activity is recognized. You can find intelligent agents in course admin in Brightspace. And when you go to create a new intelligent agent, you'll notice that it's broken up into 4 parts: identification, scheduling, criteria, and actions. And we're going to go through each of these 4 in detail, starting with identification. Identification is the information you need to find and organize your intelligent agent. You'll need a name. You have the option to put in a description. I recommend putting in a short snippet about what this intelligent agent does, what its purpose is. You can sort it into categories and create a new category directly from the intelligent agent. These categories don't have any weight whatsoever on the actual intelligent agent itself. They're just a way for you to better organize your intelligent agents if you have a course that uses them a lot. So for example, you might have a category for your intelligent agents where it's focused on student communication and one that's focused on faculty communication. Categories are optional, but again, recommended if you have a lot of intelligent agents that you want to organize. And lastly, and most importantly in this section, is the status checkbox. When you create a new agent, this checkbox will start unchecked, meaning that your intelligent agent is not enabled and it will not be running until you check that box. Even though this box is located at the top of the intelligent agent creation screen, I highly recommend that you wait until the very end of the intelligent agent creation process to enable your agent. Otherwise, you could have a situation where your agent is running in the background and performing actions before you're ready. And we want to avoid that wherever possible. Once an intelligent agent is enabled, you can always disable it by unchecking the box at any time. The next section is scheduling. And in this section, you'll determine how often your intelligent agent will perform checks within your course. This section is fairly straightforward. It's just a simple drop-down where you can choose for it to have no schedule, which means that it's manually triggered. It has a one-time run, so you specify the day and time that you want it to run, and it will only run on that day at that time. You can set it to run every hour, every couple of hours. You can set it to run every day or every couple of days. You can set it to run every week, every other week, at specific days within the week. You can set it to run every month, every other month, every 3 months. Or you can set it to run once every year on a specific day at a specific time of your choosing. Once you select an option from this drop-down menu, more options will appear on screen for you to really be able to customize your intelligent agent schedule to your liking. Next, we have criteria, and this is really the meat and potatoes of an intelligent agent. In this section, you'll be specifying what your intelligent agent will be looking for whenever it runs. First, you'll specify whether or not this intelligent agent will be looking at everybody in your class list to see if they meet the criteria, or if it will only be looking at users with specific roles. This can be helpful if you want an email notification to go only to students or to faculty and TAs. Again, you can really customize this to your liking. After you determine who the intelligent agent is going to check, you now have to determine what they're going to check for. The first thing you can have it check for is login activity. When you check this box, the intelligent agent will look and see if the user has logged into Brightspace within the past several days, or if they haven't logged into Brightspace within the past several days, and you specify the amount of days. Similarly, you can track course activity. While login activity is broad and applies to your organization's Brightspace as a whole, course activity relates specifically to the course that the intelligent agent is in. Lastly, in this section, we have release conditions, and release conditions in intelligent agents function just like release conditions anywhere else. When you set a release condition in an intelligent agent, you're telling the intelligent agent to activate when that release condition is met. For example, you could have a intelligent agent that will run if it notices that a student has scored above a certain percentage on an assignment, or conversely, if they've scored below a certain percentage on an assignment. You can assess whether a student has met a certain standard, whether a certain rubric criteria has been met, whether certain content has been viewed. I highly recommend you take a look and see what's possible through the intelligent agent release conditions. There are probably going to be some options in there that surprise you. And lastly, we have the actions section. Now that the intelligent agent knows what to look for and how often to look for it, we need to tell it what it does once it recognizes that criteria. First, you'll specify whether the agent takes action only the first time the criteria is met for a user, or if it takes action every time the criteria is met for a user. For example, if you have an intelligent agent set to send out an email every week, here's where you would specify whether or not you want the user to receive that email every week or only the first week that they meet that criteria. Fill in one of those bubbles. You can set your intelligent agent to change user enrollments or to send out an email, or do both. You might want to change enrollments in some type of training course where once a student finishes the course and achieves above a certain grade, their role gets changed to peer mentor, or they get enrolled in the next training course automatically. And if you choose for the intelligent agent to send out an email, once that box is checked, you can completely customize the content of the email, from subject line to additional recipients to the body of the email itself. Now, because this can all seem very broad and open-ended when we're talking about it as just a list of options, I'm now going to pass this presentation off to my colleagues so that they can give some examples of how we use intelligent agents at Eastern University. So that way you can see what these options look like in practice.
My name is Kyle Logan, and I'm an instructional designer here at Eastern University. And I want to go over a few different ways that we handle communication with both our instructors and our students. When it comes to communication, consistency can be very key. And the most important messages can often be the most repetitive ones. So here at Eastern University, we work to make sure that Brightspace Intelligent Agents handle a lot of that for us. So here are 4 agents that we run for most of our courses, 2 for faculty and 2 for students. Starting with faculty, communication begins before the course does. So our most basic one here, our course builder notification tells the instructor the very moment the course shell is available. It's set to do this exactly once, the first time it's satisfied. So they get one welcome and they're not being harassed by it every week to let them know that they have a course. And it points them straight to our before the semester begins to-do list. Everyone gets the same onboarding message in the same format every term. Great. The second agent I would like to show you is our instructor check-in agent. It watches users with the instructor role who haven't accessed the course in the last week. And when that happens, the agent sends a friendly nudge saying, "It's been a week and we haven't seen you." So it offers some concrete suggestions of what the professor could do. It can grade a submission, answer a student question, post a weekly announcement, and it also, if you notice the PCC, announces this to the support team so that we know which courses might need a hand. Moving on to the student side of things, the student check-in runs on a schedule, also once a week. So it starts when the course starts and stops when the course does. It won't let them know this is happening after the course expires. It looks for students who haven't accessed the course in 7 days and sends a personal check-in. The replace string drops in the student's first name, and it also does this for the course name. So this looks like a note and not just a form letter. But we do still label it as automated so that expectations with our students remain honest. Lastly, should their progress slip, for students, the grade advisory checks in. Once a week, it checks a release condition. Is the student's final grade at or below 70%? And if it is, it will reach out before the student falls further behind. It doesn't just warn them about their grade, however, it also links them to some resources. We offer the Writing Center, free counseling, as well as 24/7 tutoring with NetTutor. Struggling students get the same complete list of resources every time they need it. So that's 4 different agents. We set them up once. They never miss a week. They don't miss a person, and they always stay on script. And that's the point. It helps out everybody, and it makes sure that everyone is getting where they need. Thank you so much for coming into this.
Hi, my name's Sue Yavor. I'm the manager of Educational Technologies for Eastern University, and I'm also the Brightspace administrator for Eastern. I'd like to take a couple minutes and show you some other ways we have found intelligent agents to be very helpful in automating some of the processes that we're responsible for. So one of the things that we're responsible for in the Center for Teaching, Learning, and Technology at Eastern is our faculty training and development. We have a couple courses that we've built out in Brightspace that train faculty in things like basic Brightspace skills, course development, pedagogy, and so on. So we have found intelligent agents to be very helpful in these courses for automating some of the messages that we used to do one at a time, sending emails and completion certificates and things like that. So this is one of the courses that we have designed, and in it there's a welcome email. So as soon as somebody is enrolled in the course, whether it's done by us or they've found it through our Discover page, this agent is going to send them a welcome email that basically lets them know they're enrolled in the course and gives them the next steps on what they need to accomplish. Another feature that we've added to this is the course completion. So we've designed the courses so that the students, or these faculty in this case, get an award when they've completed the course. So the award is set up, gives the criteria, and then we've created an agent based on that award. So our course completion certificate, or intelligent agent, in the criteria is looking at all of the students in the course who have earned the award for Flex 140's certificate of completion. Once they've received that award, we used to have to manually email them, congratulate them, send another email to other offices in the university so that the course is recorded for them. But now it's automated. Once they've earned that award, it sends the email to the user, to our academic operations, and lets everybody know this faculty member or this adjunct has completed this training. So both of these have taken a lot of manual steps off of our plates. The other thing that I used to get a lot of requests for, well, I still do, but I figured out how to automate is enrolling students into departmental websites. So several of our different degree programs within the university have a departmental website that they want all of the students enrolled in. These sites contain a lot of general information about the student's major, their programs, courses, books, and so on. We used to go through and I would download the attendant or the class list out of a course and enroll them into these department sites every semester. But now I have intelligent agents set up in these courses that enroll the students in all of these entry-level courses to the degrees into that program, the program site. So the agent is scheduled to run every day, grabs all the students in the course. What makes this different is it's using the actions to change a user enrollment. So it is going to enroll the user in a course. I select the course, in this case, this program site for data science. I enroll them as a student in the course. And now every day, it's going to run this intelligent agent and find new students that have been added into these, again, entry courses into the major and enroll them into that program site. One final example that I have found just recently is that we can also use these intelligent agents at the top org level of Brightspace. So this is another site that we had set up in Discover, but students don't always find it. And this is our student tech support site, which gives them their Brightspace skills and other information they need about the university. So in addition to being in Discover, I have found that if you go through the org unit editor, you can find the high-level organization for Eastern and go into the course admin and find that agent list. So similar to what I did with the program sites, I've created an agent list here that takes all the students who've logged in the past 24 hours. So I'm only capturing current students, not our graduated students that are still in our system, logged in the last one day. And then in the action, it's the same type of thing. First time the agent's criteria is satisfied, it's going to enroll them into the student's technology support site. So I hope some of these have given you some good ideas and ways that you can use intelligent agents in your organizations. Thanks for joining us and have a good day.
Hi, my name's Alex Temporelli. I'm the Assistant Director of Instructional Design at Eastern University. I'm going to talk to you about some more advanced techniques that we can use with intelligent agents to get a bit of a more professional feel when we send emails using them. First, you'll see my email, who it's coming from. The defaults to system-no reply. At least that's what we have it set to at Eastern University. Your admin might have it set to something else. Either way, it's not very personable. So one of the things that we can do is change who the email is coming from. So you'll see here, I have an example that looks like it came from my coworker, Erin. But even with the name, you'll see that they're both coming from the same email address, helpdesk@eastern.brightspace.com. It's normal. We just really want it to look like it's coming from a person, like a professor. Some things to know. First, this is done on a class-by-class basis. If you set it up once, it is only going to affect the class that you set it up in. It's not connected to your account. It is done class by class. It's not done agent by agent, class by class. So how to do it is pretty simple. You go into your intelligent agents, course admin intelligent agents, and when you see the agent list, you click on the settings in the top right corner. And then there's really only one setting that you can change. Do you want to use the default or do you want to customize it? So, oops, I customized it to have myself, Alex Temporelli, my email, and then I would just hit save. And it's that simple. The next thing I want to talk about is my example emails. So you'll notice here in the left-hand example, the one that doesn't look so great, it just says hi. But on the right, it says, "You're making great progress, Alexa," and it names me by name. And I just feel so special when it names me by name. So one of the things that we're going to talk about today is replace strings. We're going to be very brief about this. There's great documentation on Brightspace's website. The key thing to know is that replace strings are strings of text that when inserted into various fields in Brightspace, Brightspace knows to then replace that text with whatever the string is. There are preset replace strings. You can't just create your own and expect Brightspace to know what it means. But one of the most common places we see this in intelligent agents is the to field of the subject line of the email. And you send it to initiating user, and then it goes to whoever triggered that intelligent agent. The other thing I want to talk about is images. So you'll see here the stay strong it didn't load properly, and that's because I did not input it in my intelligent agent properly, as opposed to my nice little reminder, "You've come so far, keep going, you're doing great." It shows the image. So let's look at how to do that in Brightspace. You'll see I have a long list of intelligent agents. I am an avid intelligent agent user. And let's just use one of these as an example. We can use course 25% complete. So first off, you'll see my replace string, very fancy. Here's another one. Here is an example of an intelligent agent I made. It's nice, it's pretty. And let's talk about how I inserted this image. I'm going to remove this. So if I wanted to insert an image, one of the things that I am personally guilty of is I'll go on Google and I'll be like cats, and then I'll just copy an image and then I'll paste the image. If I just paste the image, it looks good. It's there in Brightspace. Everything's fine. Right? Wrong. If I do that, it's not going to load in the body of the email. So I need to insert my images using the insert image button. You can use a URL. I personally have an image on my computer. Please ignore the fact that I have 5 trillion things saved on my computer. Let's just go with the Fusion background. I add it. but I inserted it, and now if I were to send this in my email, I would get an actual image that appears in the email. Now, the other thing to be mindful of is the formatting. So you'll see how my thing is formatted pretty nicely. It's in a box. It looks professional, except maybe this Fusion image doesn't quite belong there. But not all emails are like that. So I have an example here. It's very plain, very boring, just straight up text, a little bit like my example. And if you see this, fine. It's not that great. I'm not excited to see this. I don't want to read whatever it says to do. So one of the things we can do is we can reformat things. Now, I do not know how to code, but I'm a user of artificial intelligence, and so I can use artificial intelligence to vibe code a nicer HTML layout for this. So I'm going to use Gemini because that's what my school provides us with. And I'm just going to say, I have this email draft. Can you HTML and CSS? CSS is the formatting, makes it a little bit prettier. The styling, that's what I should say. CSS is the styling. To make this look professional. And I'm just going to paste the text of my email. And while it's thinking, I'm going to come over to the little HTML editor button. That is going to be where I put the code when it comes up with it. So I can just copy this, paste it, and save. Now, it did not include my email. It did not include my image because when I copied and pasted it, it didn't know I had an image, so I can always put my image back in. I'm not sure I like this. The colors are weird. I don't know what this is. It looks like a progress bar. Oh, because I'm 25% complete. Sorry. Okay. But I'm not a fan of this. So I can just ask Gemini for the progress bar instead of blue. Maroon is one of Eastern's colors, so that's what we're going with, even though I personally prefer blue. Wait for it to finish. Then I'll just copy, paste again. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. And now I can re-add my image if I wanted to. Go into images, my computer, upload. And now it has my image in there. It's a bit more professional looking. Looks a little bit nicer than what I had before. I actually kind of like the branding colors on here. So if I save it, it'll now send out this nice branded email rather than my just block of text. So that's how you can customize your agents a little bit more. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and my team. Thank you so much for staying with us this long, and I hope you learned something new. Thanks.